everybody. Welcome to Build Brunch, the daily morning show where we talk about the latest topics in pop culture. I'm Brittany Jones-Cooper.
I'm Shannon Coffey.
I'm Allie Colbert.
And I'm Lucas Tim. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Today we're going to talk about Miley Cyrus coming back to our playlist, Hollywood's response to Georgia's abortion law, and the many ways wedding photographers can spot a doomed marriage. Plus, host and producer Jason Carter joins the table to discuss ET Live, but first,
just last night, we heard reports of Kit Harrington checking into a treatment facility for stress and alcohol.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's surprising and also not at all surprising when you hear stories like this, especially at like the peak of Game of Thrones, all of the attention.
Right.
It's just like one of those like moments where you like recognize the pressure that is put on everyone.
Totally. And in the last year, I've seen two stories where he was really drunk in public, one where he had to be taken out of a bar, one where he was passed out and a woman took photos of him. So I think this has been something that's building, and probably just with all, like you said, all the extra stress of the finale and all the attention, it just kind of rolled over.
yeah, I read that he actually started going to therapy after Jon Snow like died and came back, and he became like more of a lead in the show, and he felt so much pressure and like was like, I don't even know if I can act. And I really can relate to like when you get those big opportunities in your life, like feeling like you're an imposter and like not knowing if you can actually like fill those shoes that you set up for yourself.
Right.
So I understand that. Like, I mean, Game of Thrones, obviously look at the impact it's had, look at like our reaction, how strongly we reacted to everything. So I understand like he's going through so much.
Right, and he's been in, it's in Connecticut, and he's been there for about a month now, and it's a very expensive, I think it's over $100,000 a day, but you know, it's focusing,
What?
yeah, I read on page 6, read this whole, it's a very expensive,
That sounds made up.
Okay, well, page 6 it could be. It's let's say it's a very expensive rehab facility where he's like learning meditation, mindfulness. But if you watch the documentary we discussed yesterday, you can see the emotional reaction he had to not only when he finds out Jon kills Daenerys, but also to his last shot, and which this interview also mentions too, how he's such a just could not believe when it was finally over, because, you know, like Shannon says, season 5 he becomes a lead. It's all this pressure, and then it's something he's been doing for 10 years of his life is just over like that.
I think, too, we underestimate, like, the level of adrenaline people have to perform at that height for so long. And naturally, when you're performing like that, you have to find ways to come down. And I think that's why we see so many celebrities and artists turn to drugs and alcohol, because it's like they're functioning at their peak so often, there's no way to level out. So
After this show, I'm wrecked. I mean, you just find me outside, just like laying on the pavement.
This is actually an intervention.
It's hard. The brunch, you know, the pressure is on.
Especially after when Allie...
Actually an intervention. We even wanted to talk to you about this.
When Allie died and then came back to life and became the lead, ever since she came back to LA,
That was hard. And I went
changed
to a
her.
facility, $300 million a day.
Girl,
It might have been a month. Maybe it's supposed to be a month. Maybe that makes more sense.
$100,000 a day.
I think it's a month.
I think it's probably a month.
I think it's a month.
It could be a day.
It sounds like my little cousin telling me about like a war. 1 billion trillion people died.
I just read the page 6 article. It probably is a month, no matter what.
You
it's
know how
expensive.
different that is, though?
I know a difference. Okay.
That's like...
So for someone who gets a lot of the
what would
facts,
that break down to a day? If it's $100,000 a month, what would that be a day?
so 120 divided by 30, so
I don't do math.
You are the math
Oh,
people.
no.
25,000 a week.
40,000?
no, 100. You know, I can't do it.
Oh, no.
It's about 5,000
Our guests who had that
Yeah,
math
5,000
book
a
are
day.
so
5,000
disappointed
a
in
day.
us.
4,000 a day.
That makes more sense.
That's 100,000 a month, but Lucas has 100,000 a day.
Okay, I get a lot.
Lucas is dumb.
I get a lot of facts right about like laws and stuff. I get something wrong
I was
once in
gonna
a
say,
while.
Lucas is our fact guy. So
Yes, I got it wrong. Okay.
You gotta let this slide.
I know. I feel like you're the Jon Snow of this situation.
Right.
I apologize, and I don't want you to go home and be stressed
Thank
out.
you.
A boy knows nothing.
Boy, no, you know nothing, Jon Snow. I mean, I feel that right now.
Well, either way, Kit, we are all rooting for you. I think we're all big fans of him. I love that he's putting his health first, and hopefully he can do this and move on.
Come
and
on,
do
Brunch.
more amazing, great stuff. So we're rooting for you. Moving on, after 16 seasons, Adam Levine has officially announced his departure from NBC's The Voice. Despite rumors about a dramatic exit, the Maroon 5 singer posted a heartfelt goodbye on his Instagram, thanking the show for all it has done for him over the years.
Oh my.
Man.
16 seasons, 6 years, The Voice. I mean, crazy. Literally.
What am I gonna do without Adam Levine on The Voice?
So here's my thoughts
That
on
sucks.
Adam Levine. I'm not the hugest fan of his personality, but on the show, which I have watched over the years, he and Blake Shelton do have this really fun camaraderie and jokey relationship. That's fun to watch, and I think viewers resonated with that. So it will be interesting to see if they take to the new dynamics. Gwen Stefani's taking his seat. She's been on the show in past season. Obviously, she's in a relationship with Blake Shelton, so it'll be a new playful relationship. But I do think the show will suffer a little bit because he's not there.
There are a bit of rumors going around that because of the new rule in The Voice, which doesn't mandate that each coach has their players get to like the live playoffs. And none of his made it, that he was sort of like butthurt by that rule, and that sort of like incentivized his quit.
Right.
I don't know if that's true, but I could see it being true.
Yeah.
Adam being entitled? Never.
I mean,
he's so competitive. Like, he's overly competitive. Even like in the earlier seasons when some of his people actually like really sucked, he'd still be like, I'm gonna win this.
Yeah.
He'd be like, no, you're not.
he's only won it 3 times over 16 seasons. That's saying something. But I mean, I just wish he spent more time focusing on a Super Bowl halftime show last year. Maybe. That's what it did. I'm not apologizing.
Coming back with the facts.
With the facts.
But I do wonder if
He's our
he
fax machine.
is going to do more music. Like, what is he gonna do now?
He may have
Isn't
more
he still
children.
in Maroon 5?
Kind of.
Yeah, isn't
So
he
they keep pumping
Maroon
him
5? Like, does anyone know any of the other names
Yeah.
of the guys
Wait,
in Maroon
The
5?
guitar player's from Lincoln, Nebraska.
But-
I see you.
You
Aren't
freak.
there
What's
only-
his name?
Liam?
See?
Wait,
Liam.
Liam.
What?
No.
You just
No.
chose a
That's
random
just a
white
white
guy
name.
I just picked the whitest name I
Yeah,
can
you're
think of.
But aren't there only like
drunk.
4 of them? There aren't even 5 of them, right? Can someone please name all 5 members of Maroon 5? I think there's not even fully
No,
5
I
of
don't
them.
think there's 5 members.
There's 6?
We have a Maroon
There's
5
6.
head.
Thank you. There's our fact checker. There's
6 members.
That doesn't
Wow.
make sense
Look,
still.
we thought there was 4, so there's 2 of them that we don't even like acknowledge.
Yeah.
They're not even registering
But
as human
guys,
stuff.
who are the other names in Queen or the Rolling Stone? Like, nobody ever knows
Excuse me,
anybody
you-
but the front guy.
That's
Amazing.
That's not true.
They
If
know
you
the
do a
front guy
band,
named
right?
the lead guitarist. That's it.
That's not true.
Yeah.
So give me some names.
No,
Rolling
I'm not,
Stones.
gonna, I'm not gonna give you tacit approval for this argument by engaging.
I'm just saying.
Beyonce, Kelly, and Michelle.
Right.
Yeah,
There's
there you
3.
go.
And
Latoya.
Latifah. We can't.
Paul,
She got
John,
booted.
George, and Ringo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
job.
Well, there's the Beatles.
Snaps. Snaps.
Anyways, what was I gonna say about Adam Levine? I'm still confused about Adam Levine. I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah.
Like, who is he? Or-
I don't know what we're doing with this guy. We treat him like he's hot. He looks like every Jewish kid I went to camp with. I
Right.
don't know.
Covered in
Why?
tattoos.
He's just like this little wormy Jewish boy who just like shows up at everyone's bar mitzvah stoned and is like, "What's up, guys?" And now we're just like, "You're hot." Like, I don't get it.
I just feel like he's a little too LA. Like, when I think of LA, I think of the things I don't like about LA, I think of Adam Levine.
Oh, really?
Interesting.
When I think of Adam
We're
Levine,
putting-
I think of like Long Island.
Really?
I think that's what happens. That's the worst part of LA. Is when people from Long Island go to LA and like, yeah, I'm the biggest shit here. Yeah. Look at me, and you're like, oh my God, please go
Look at my
away.
tattoo on my stomach that
Yeah.
says LA.
I think we got to the
Yeah.
crux of people hate LA.
Yeah.
Is the Long Island population that are there.
I
Head
don't
by
know.
Adam
It's just
Levine.
weird that like he's married to a supermodel and we're just like, okay, like no, man.
I mean,
I hate this.
I think we're living in like the 2000s when Maroon 5 actually had some hits.
Yeah.
Tap on my window.
No,
Like, we
that
loved
was
it.
good.
Right? And then I think he got a little bigger than the band, and that's where it's been
Well,
tough.
yeah, remember when The Voice started? It was him, CeeLo Green,
Yes.
Oh,
Blake
yeah.
Shelton, and Christina
Oh, Christina.
Aguilera.
Yep.
That was
I thought
what
that
a
was interesting
what a crew.
that he shared that photo of the original cast.
Right.
Yes.
I was like,
Oh,
I
shade there,
wonder what's
Shade.
that about.
But I think
'Cause,
that
like,
was an easy
CeeLo
way just to
Green?
be like the original instead of picking his favorite,
because
right?
there's been 800 judges on that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
I mean, you can like upload like endless photos to Instagram. Look at it down like a little swipe through and included
Kelly
That's a good
and
point.
Jennifer Hudson.
My
Yeah.
favorite dynamic, actually, and I wish they would bring J Hud back. J Hud with Kelly Clarkson, they are so funny together.
They
They're
are.
kind of divas.
Oh my God.
I
they're
don't think I've seen one episode of The Voice.
They're
by the
so
way.
good together. They're both so playful. They can both belt, and so they go after the similar singers. And J Hud's always throwing her shoe at people to show them that she loves them. You guys
like
know
that.
it's fantastic. I wish they would bring her back.
I loved Miley Cyrus and
Miley was on it.
Alicia Keys. Those
Oh,
two
they
together
loved
were
each
like,
other.
oh my God. I would just watch a show with the two of them because
That
I feel like
sounds
they
like a fun
actually can
show.
develop talent.
Yeah.
And they're not like, their ego doesn't get in the way
Right.
like Adam. And it's not about them, it's really about the contestants.
So we've noticed that women are
Yeah.
better at
More nurturing.
molding
Yeah.
talent, putting their ego aside to help people. What should we think about that? 2020, Kamala Harris. What?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know about him. I just don't know anyone that's won The Voice. I never got into The Voice.
Well, that's the problem that the show has. Like, the blind auditions are really fun, and then after that, everybody kind of like
Because the
tunes
chair.
out.
We all love
the
hitting that button, spinning around. We all wish we could do that.
And once that novelty's gone.
Well, guys, I know, we just brought up Miley Cyrus, so I'm going to have to go into my next Miley Cyrus talk, which Miley Cyrus can't stop, and she won't stop. The singer has officially unveiled artwork for her new music titled She Is Coming, which is set to release on Friday. Miley also made headlines this weekend for her performance at BBC Radio 1's Big Weekend, where she rapped about Cardi B and Nicki Minaj's feud in her new song, Catitude. Meow.
Meow.
Hey.
Love this new track. We're figuring out the lyrics.
We don't know the lyrics yet, and we were hating at first, but then we played it a few times this morning.
Oh,
and we're
really?
into it.
Well,
It's better on a repeat?
Yeah,
I
it's better
think
when you
so.
sit
One
in
of
a
those?
tiny room and repeat it.
like-
And you're like, you like it, right? You like it, right? You like it. And we were
song-
like, we love it. I love Miley.
It's not released, right? We're just watching that video clip that someone
From the festival.
snagged
She
from the
performed
festival.
3 new songs, Catitude, Dream, and Mother's Daughter. And Catitude, the line is, I love you, Nicki, but I listen to Cardi or whatever.
Right.
And that's the one people are taking from it.
So people are now going on Twitter being like, I love you, Miley, but I listen to Hannah. I love you, Miley, but I love Liam. All that stuff,
Honestly,
which is so
it's-
fun for Twitter.
I like Miley. I like Miley Cyrus, but it's very white girl thinks she can rap, right?
Yeah, but she's been
The
doing
way
that since
you
bangers,
say,
and we
I
let
just
it
want to get
slide.
something off my chest. The way you kind of talk about white people, like you're not a white person or the whitest person I know, is like very frustrating. You're always like white people. It's like you're a white person.
I know, but I'm recognizing white privilege.
Yeah.
No, but that's not what you're saying by saying Miley sounds so white.
Yeah, but I'm not getting up and rapping and doing a 2-minute.
Can I say that I like that he says it sometimes, so I don't always have to say it?
Yeah, that's
I do appreciate Lucas does take a lot of the work out of some stuff where I'm like, women, and then you say it, and I'm like, oh, it's so nice to get to relax for once. Like, sometimes it's like every day you're fighting the good fight, and it's nice
I'm not
to have
denying my
a
whiteness.
fucking white man do it for
White
you.
privilege isn't like when we're talking about white people and you're like, wow, they're so white the way they dance. Like, that's not about privilege.
But it's a fact.
It's a fact.
I know, but it's just like, okay,
Sometimes
fine,
it's
whatever.
just true.
It's a white girl taking
All right,
black culture.
I'll just let it go.
Because you're wrong.
Yeah, because Miley's been appropriating for like a decade.
Yeah.
That's the problem. I like Malibu, Miley Cyrus, her other recent music's been really good. And we've talked how much we love her and like her. Just this was like, I just don't, it's part of Miley says I don't get and I'm not gonna
There's literally a line in there where she's rapping and she was like, give it up for National Tennessee. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
With that said though, it's got a catchy beat because I think it was produced by Pharrell. So what I'm attracted to is like, it made me dance. And that's more Pharrell than it is her.
Yeah, but there is one girl in the audience, they panned her, she's just like this, like, like, just like not really going with it.
Miley Cyrus always says like hate views are still views.
That's true.
Like so you can watch and hate it and not like it, but she's still getting those clicks.
Yeah.
And eventually, like I said, if you're in that tiny room hitting replay, you're gonna love
It
it.
gets catchy, and she's like, "You're just mad because your hair is flat."
Right.
Yeah, and
I
my
love
hair
that.
is flat.
It's humid outside.
She's so talented, and also the messages talk about women in the industry, which I really like. She's really big about that, and like when she's been talking about feminism and just all the people she works with, from Nicki to Madonna to whoever, I really appreciate that message. Her coming from like she's only 26, but look what all I've been through. All the women, all of us have been through in this industry. So
Miley's likable, man. I mean, she's just like such good vibes, and so even when she's doing something that I'm like, you're still like, I think she's got a pure intention or a pure soul, and she's trying to be an artist and trying to be exploratory, and I can respect
And she
that.
can laugh at herself too.
Exactly.
I think it's an underrated quality that a lot of musicians do not have, which we've recognized when they get bad reviews or whatever.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm excited to see her in the new Black Mirror because she's also going to be playing a pop star, and that's going to be like this storyline where this pop star is like sending out tiny little robot versions of herself so that fans can have it. And she said it's going to kind of share like the female experience of being in the pop world, which obviously she has the ultimate experience.
Right.
But
Right.
Hannah Montana like still blows my mind that we get to live at the same time as Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
It was Hannah Montana who got the best of both worlds. Like,
Oh my God.
You guys want to
Sad
cry
that
with
Hannah
me?
Montana's not real.
I went to a
know.
Hannah Montana concert,
Really?
For real?
and I like
cool.
cried.
When
Talk about being white.
did she
like,
switch to
at-
Miley in it?
She did Hannah Montana the first half, and then Miley Cyrus the second half.
Oh, my
and then
God.
did you say talk about being white? And then she at the it's true. It's fine. It's fine. But then at the end of it, she was like, I just want to say she must have been like 12 at the time. She's like, I just want to say, like, I really am living my dream. Like, this is my dream. Like, this is the best of both worlds.
Wow.
Oh my God, that's beautiful. Whoa. Such gratitude. That is amazing. Yeah. Seriously, like Miley Cyrus, like even if she's, you know, sometimes a little whack, I love her so much. Her heart is so pure, and I just hope I hope the best for her. Like catitude all the way. Like I'm gonna be singing about my badge with her.
Yeah. And that's what a catitude is.
Yeah, it's the attitude that your badge puts out into the universe.
If you guys didn't know, that's what it is.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Sorry, I have a camel toe right now. Don't zoom in.
Zoom in.
I made eye contact with someone and they were like, girl, it's like your denim is plugging straight in.
Did you see that Miley Cyrus recently said she likes to wear a lot of jewelry going through TSA so that their airport security will pat her down?
Honestly, kind of, she made it sound not as creepy as it would if someone else said it. She's like, human touch is a nice thing. And I was like, huh. But he's like, gross.
Yeah. Don't touch me.
Don't touch me.
Don't touch me.
I'm not into it because you know, like they don't like change their gloves very often. And like after reading that study about how there's like a million thousand poo particles on the trays, you know that their gloves have poo on them, and they're like, let me check that necklace, and you're like poo particle, poo particle.
I hate I hate the thought of that.
Poo particle, poo.
Oh my God.
Guys, move on.
Yeah, on that note, Netflix is speaking out against Georgia's restrictive abortion law. The streaming giant, which produces Stranger Things and Ozark in the state, has become the first major Hollywood studio to publicly weigh in and suggest it might cancel production in Georgia if the law goes forward. Yeah, that's great. You know, the law won't technically take effect until January of next year. So this is when, right now, the ACLU is challenging it in the courts. And Ted Sarandos, who's the head of programming at Netflix, is flat out saying, like, we will financially help support ACLU in their court battles with Georgia and of course with Alabama and Missouri and Louisiana and all the other states that are passing anti-choice laws.
And this is important because Georgia offers a tax incentive to production companies. So there's a lot of stuff that is filmed down there. I know Tyler Perry built his entire studio down there.
Yeah.
And so I think we do need a voice out there pushing back against Georgia because they're not going to listen to us. And I think the entertainment industry has so many allies that it's just a natural thing for them to take a stance.
Well, it's a big thing because Atlanta was becoming like a black Hollywood because of all the things being produced there. Tyler Perry, of course, being the most prominent person. And you know, when an industry it's 92,000 jobs in Georgia. So when industry then can challenge discriminatory laws, it forces that state to reconsider. You know, I remember when Mike Pence signed in the very discriminatory anti-LGBT law in Indiana in 2015, which was a religious freedom law. And Apple and companies spoke out, and the state lost a lot of money. It is a way to challenge these Republican-controlled governments. And like, basically, if you want to discriminate, fine, then we'll pull money out of the state, and then people will vote you out.
Yeah, if money is the only thing, I've heard a lot of people online be like, well, good job, liberals. What are you gonna do? Take away your movies? And it's like, and it's like, if money is the only thing that makes people respond, then like that's what we're going to have to like move with. I mean, I know it's just one thing. It's film production. It's not the biggest thing in the world, but like anything that has like a financial reaction, that's what.
Yeah, I think that's what most people, like most horrible people who would put these laws in place in the first place, respond to. Like they respond to their wallets and money and that stupid, just gross plasticness. But I feel like even though we think that this might not be big, I feel like it is actually pretty huge. And I think it would fuck shit up if they did pull all their projects out. And I mean, I'm really proud of Netflix. Like, I feel good when I can support a show that isn't, you know, supporting assholes.
Right.
Yeah, and it sets the tone. There's a lot of other states that have anti-abortion legislation in the process. Missouri, Ohio. So this sort of sets the tone. It sort of sets an example for other states if they want to deal with this sort of backlash. Maybe they won't move forward.
And
oh, sorry. This is just a question I have about like maybe one of you knows the answer. About like shows that do film there. Like talk about like Ozark, for instance. That films in Georgia. If they were to film another season not there, like, would they change the story based on that? They wouldn't.
No, they wouldn't change the story. But sometimes shows will get canceled or have to like lower their episode count. They lose the tax incentives that state provided. Like remember Bloodline, that Netflix show, when they lost the tax incentives in Florida, they were like, well, we can't really do this show anymore. And I think they basically ended it kind of. So I think that's more of where it comes from with these shows. But like, you know, J.J. Abrams, Jordan Peele's, their show, Lovecraft Country, already I think is filmed, but they're going to donate their episodic fees that they get as producers to supporting the ACLU. So I think there's ways that, you know, if you've already filmed in the process of filming, clearly you're not going to ruin the lives of all the people that work for you.
Right.
Donate money that way.
Also, we can donate money to the ACLU as well. So you don't have to wait for the production companies to do it. We all have wallets as well. And I think it's a time, if you want to give, it's a good time to do that.
You know what's a good way to do it too? And I'm just going to Lyft. You know Lyft, you can round up your drives and donate that little cent to whatever. I've been donating to the ACLU for like 3 years now through Lyft.
I did not know that.
Yeah, isn't that a cool thing you can do? Just like, it's like it's an extra
Are you
cent.
sponsored by Lyft?
Sponsor me.
That was so seamless and cute.
It was true.
You know what's a great thing?
Lyft.
Uber pools. God.
Wow. What if you guys had competing sponsorships? You were Uber and you were Lyft?
Oh no.
Oh God.
No, Uber's canceled, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Did
I
you
still take Uber?
No, I take Juno.
Oh, okay.
I take whatever is cheapest and fastest.
One more thing, you know who pulled her movie out was Kristen Wiig, and this movie sounds so funny. She's co-writing it with Annie Mummerlow, right? Is that her name? Who co-wrote Bridesmaids with her?
Oh, yeah.
And they pulled the movie out of Georgia. But I'm so excited they're making some sort of, not sequel to Bridesmaids, but like similar people together. So it's not filming in Georgia, but it will film somewhere else.
Yeah, for sure. There's lots of other places to film that aren't horrible.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm into it. Thanks, Hollywood. In other news, wedding photographers are sharing signs of a doomed marriage in reply to a recent viral Ask Reddit thread. Common red flags included fighting over minor wedding details and smashing cake into each other's faces.
I loved reading this Reddit thread, and if you haven't read it, check it out because it's really enjoyable. And I just think it's funny, like people who have seen these like weddings occur. You know, obviously they've worked them so many times, like the little signals that tell them like what's going on. So the one that really popped out to me was the smashing the wedding cake in each other's face. You see some people do it at their weddings, and they're like, the wedding photographers say, like, if you like really put it hard in their face, like that's usually not a good sign. I'm like, I completely get that.
I agree.
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate when people smash cake in their partner's face. I think it's disgusting.
Yeah.
I do. I'm like, it's so aggressive. Like, just be nice.
It's also a waste of good cake.
A waste of good cake.
Which is which
Also,
is
you get your
beyond
makeup,
belief.
you get your like beat, and then somebody puts cake in. Like, no.
Yeah, no.
Pay too much for this.
Also,
Airbrush.
don't understand that the idea of like when did people start smushing people's faces directly into the whole ass cake for birthdays? Like I've seen some like really traumatizing videos where they like smash a kid's face in and then they pick up the cake and then they pour water on it and I'm like, do you have another cake?
Yeah.
Because I would be devastated.
Yeah.
Like
that came to the party for the cake.
Yeah, like that. If that happened on my birthday, I'd be like, the lesson is life is not worth living.
Yeah.
Like, because there is no fucking cake. Like,
It's
what's happening?
I will fight you.
That-
if you
It's
put my face in
really
the cake.
amazing the like aggressiveness we can like sort of like bake into seemingly nice acts. Like, have you ever seen a parent throw their little kid in a pool?
Yeah.
And they just hurl them in the pool. And it's like, Daddy, throw me. And he's like, I gotcha. Which just like, that's not nice. That's abusive.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's safe abuse.
Yeah, but then you know, like that's why you meet adults and they don't know how to love, and you're like, you just like one of those kids who got thrown in the pool too rough.
I used to see that with water gun fights, like between kids and parents.
Brutal.
Like, when all of a sudden the dads would take a turn and get these bazooka guns and start nailing us. Kids are like, this isn't fun anymore. And the dads are like, stop!
Oh my
Stop,
God.
Dad, stop! Like, and you think about it, they were getting out a lot of pent up aggression towards maybe us, their wives, who knows? It
That
was
just
horrific.
reminded me of this horrible sleepover I had at my best friend's house. Like, and we were like in 4th or 5th grade, and she had an older brother, and we were like, let's do a pillow fight, because he also had a friend sleeping over. And we didn't know this, but they put hard textbooks in the pillowcases and started smashing us in the heads. And we literally were like, they were teenagers, and we were like so bruised up. And our parents are just like, you shouldn't play with them anymore. And I was like, this is like serious.
You're like, I have brain damage.
Yeah, if you guys are like, what's up with Shannon? Is she okay? No, I'm not. I got hit with textbooks.
Yeah, I used to go over to my friend's house and her older sisters would be like, we're gonna play Heart Attack. And I was like, I don't wanna play Heart Attack. And they would put me in a bed and they'd be like, this is your hospital bed. They would stack all these blankets on top of me, open the door and just all run down the hall and just belly dive onto me. And as they hit my little stomach, go, Heart Attack, Heart Attack.
Is it because you were the smallest?
Yeah.
God.
Look, I'm Lilliputian.
You're so Lilliputian.
See, that's getting into what this article also mentions with like with like there's some like sublime hints, but there's also when just like the drunk bride is saying, "I fucked the brother."
Right.
Like, there's stuff like you can notice in a couple like
Totally.
that are just blatant.
I was waiting for one of the wedding photographers to be like, it's always a bad sign when the bride gives me head.
Right. Yeah. And I'm sure that has happened. I've been to a wedding. It was like a really big bridal party. It was like 100 degrees outside, so hot. And I remember looking at the groom, and he looked so unhappy. He literally had sweat marks on his kneecaps because it was that hot. And I remember looking and being like, he looks pissed. And they were divorced in 6 months.
Yeah.
Because I think he was like, she was forcing all this stuff, and he was like, this is not fun for me or anything.
Well, that's the big thing that one of the photographers mentioned, which I think is in couples that I see even my age, is when I think you should find someone who makes you the best version of yourself, but you can't find someone that is changing every thing about you, trying to make you fit into some sort of mold. Wait, wow, okay. That's what inspired Allie. That's saying a lot. No, but I think that's a big reveal.
Call me later.
Anyway, that's a big reveal, I think, when some of these photographers see whether the bride or the groom doing it to each other or bride and bridegroom, whoever, it's just like, that is not gonna last.
Yeah, I was shocked that this Reddit thread was photographers, not videographers, because my best friend was a wedding videographer, and literally, like, when you have to spend the entire day with them, like, them getting ready, and then, like, going to, like, driving to the stupid place, and literally you would catch...
It's called a church.
It's called a stupid place, okay, Lucas? Medieval times, I'm coming for you! Unless it's the temple of Satan, you know?
Yeah.
But literally, like, you would have this raw footage of people being like, oh, fucking hater. And you'd be like, oh my God, like, I would love, like, if videographers were
like... Rubber Durst.
Yeah, like, hater. They should have two cuts. It's like, do you want the reality of what happened during the downtime? And then here's, like, the pretty moments. But here's, like, what everyone said about you,
all
like,
day.
when you weren't there.
I would love the shady videographer who's, like, in between, like, the wedding, like, we're smiling, is like, into the like a subtitle groom, just like, oh, fucking hater.
I've noticed that, like, in a lot of my friends who've gotten married, like, it's really interesting to just examine, like, their attitude towards the wedding before it even happens, as they talk about it leading up to it. I have so many people I know who get married, and they're just like, yeah, like, hopefully it'll be okay, like, and it's just like, it's not gonna get better. Like,
you know you don't have to do this.
It doesn't get better. I'm the one gay person who's here to tell you, it doesn't get better.
Well, now it's time for today's guest. Jason Carter is a host and producer of ET Live, a 24-hour streaming digital venture for Entertainment Tonight. You may also recognize him as a member of the famous pit crew on the Emmy Award-winning competition show RuPaul's Drag Race. Everyone, please give a warm Bill Brunch welcome to Jason Carter.
Hey, Brittany, good to see you. Wow, hi, guys.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hey, hi.
Wow, the energy.
It's New York, baby. Yes.
I'm so flattered. Sometimes people come out and they're like, who are you?
Never. I'm a huge fan. Yes, I watch you guys all the time. You guys are lit. Do the kids still say lit?
Yeah. If you
I'm like, yeah. Everyone's like,
they're like, man, like on fleek. No, they ain't on fleek anymore.
We should ask Miley Cyrus.
That's Miley.
Yeah.
Well, we're really excited to have you here because, I've watched you a lot. RuPaul's Drag Race, but, ET Live, such a cool concept. Can you tell us about it?
Absolutely. ET Live is Entertainment Tonight's new digital streaming platform. It's 24/7 news. Of course, Entertainment Tonight is the authority on entertainment news. If it's breaking, we're covering it. And basically, it's just you log on, you download the app, the ET Live app, or go to etlive.com and just watch anytime. It's the future of how you will get entertainment news.
Right, and it's weird because like you said, ET was the first one, or the most prominent one to be doing entertainment news, and so now kind of the first one to take it to this level. It must be so exciting being a part of that.
It is. Entertainment Tonight was the first entertainment news show. It's the most heralded in Hollywood, and mainly around the world. So it's an exciting time for us, and it's fun. Who doesn't want to talk about Miley Cyrus or All Day and Day, right?
Yeah. Did you grow up watching ET too?
Absolutely.
Right? We all did, right?
Yes. Famous birthdays at the end.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. I grew up watching Entertainment Tonight. Mary Hart, John Tesh, Nancy O'Dell. I mean, now to be immersed in that culture is so surreal for me because there's a nostalgic factor there. And then to be in the thick of it and see how things work and just to see how powerful the brand is, it's such a blessing.
Well, on that note, you're a host and a producer, which is exceptional. Do you have any favorite stories that you have on or off the air?
No, Lucas, no, I think that's wow. I've stumped on build.
Wow.
You guys know,
and
I don't
am I not
like
Barbara
any of this.
Walters? Did I stump you?
No, I think I don't have any favorite stories. I think I love covering. There's things I love covering. I love covering music. Huge music fan. Mariah Carey, where you at? Hi, hey boo, Lamb right here. Yeah, right. They're like, yes, Mariah. Yeah, right there. But just music and just music in general is some of my favorite things to cover. And whatever's popping. You know, sometimes there's some stories you're thinking like, huh. And there's some stories you're just like, yeah, this is amazing. So it depends on the day.
Well, yeah, speaking of one of those stories, you covered the James Charles and Tati Westbrook story, which we also talked about at length, and surprised me as someone who was not very familiar with them. What was it like working on that and the reception you've gotten from that story?
That question, Lucas, was that story was eye-opening to me because, okay, I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't too familiar with who Tati Westbrook was before, you know, and so it opened my eyes to, I would say, not the drama that is in the beauty community, but just like these relationships and how deep it goes, and then to see, you know, how cancel culture is so prevalent now. You can be canceled so quickly, and it's really sad because these are human beings that are just sharing their life, and the foundation of all that is makeup. So when I was covering that story, I was truly enamored with how Tati told her side of it because she was so poised and very just like, you know, guys, I have this story to tell, and you know, I'm going to just say my truth. And it takes a lot of courage to do that. Right. And then James's rebuttal a week later, because we had the first video that came out with him in Australia, then he did a rebuttal that was truly well thought out and told his side. So you got this, I wouldn't say a he said, she said kind of situation, but you got to hear from two people who clearly love each other very much and just wanted to set the record straight. So I'm glad also that now we see the results of cancel culture and how toxic it is and how we need to move away from that. That's what I took away from the James and Tati story.
Right.
Yeah.
And you actually had your first professional hosting job when you were 16.
I did.
So is this something you've always wanted to do? Is you just knew that was for you?
Allie, yeah. Yes, I think so because I mean, I'm kind of older than you guys, but I used to watch MTV and there was a VJ named Bill Bellamy. They used to host VJ. Remember Brittany? Remember Bill Bellamy? And
I'm old also, and I wanted to be a host since I was 5. So
right.
We're in the same place.
Game Peeps, Game B.
We got it.
But so yeah, I started when I was 16 at a local show. Right out of high school, got into radio and just stuck with it. And along the way, you know, you veer and you turn, you take different paths, but always led me back to being on camera. And you know, being a host is not just about sitting here and being cute. It's about connecting with people, connecting with you guys. And
yikes, we've been doing that.
Lucas, damn it!
Yeah.
I thought I was just here to be cute.
Yeah. Well, that you are. You are cute. But so yeah.
He needed that.
He's like,
I was fishing for that. Thank you.
Wednesday motivation.
So hard for that. He was like, come on.
Well, he got one of his facts wrong today, so he needs a boost.
I got you, Luke. But yeah, I've always wanted to do that though.
And you worked with some really big names, you know, Eminem, Lady Gaga, Kelly Clarkson. Like, do you still get starstruck? And also, who would be your ideal dream guest to work with?
Allie?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's good with people. Yeah.
Shannon.
No, I'm so tired of this game. Oh, second.
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
Yeah. Have you ever had a meltdown live?
No, I want to watch it. Go ahead.
I've had like one every week.
Then you know, if you're not having a
really
meltdown
funny,
about your life, you're not growing. But to answer your question, Allie, I still get starstruck. I met Halle Berry last week. I interviewed Halle Berry. Yeah, and I was just like, oh my God, Halle Berry. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But to one person I would love to interview, I think would be, I'm gonna say again, I know Mariah Carey.
Yes.
But here's why. Because we love Mariah Carey. She's this larger-than-life personality, but she is this phenomenal songwriter. And she is this lyricist, and she has given us so many gems musically throughout the years that we really don't celebrate who she is as a songwriter. Yeah. And I always say that the person who's the true star is the person that creates the magic that we see that's given to the audience, right? Mariah Carey, I mean, who uses words like rhapsodized and, you know, or emblazoned? You know, she's just such a genius. And just to get into her head and figure out that genius, to me, would be genius.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, apparently she sleeps for 15 hours a day, so you have to get in to get in a tight window.
I think it was like 17.
Yeah, it was
Good
a
for
lot.
her.
And
It's
she
not-
has 22 humidifiers.
And she doesn't go into like fluorescent light. You're living your best life.
I know,
You have your own
yeah.
lighting
All on a
package.
big
She's the
Really?
ultimate diva. She really, in the
Ultimate.
best
Yes.
way possible.
Yeah.
And you are also a correspondent on YouTube's largest news show, The Young Turks.
I was.
What was that like?
amazing. That is a whole other arena of, of political content and people who hinge on the words we're saying in regards to our current political climate, right? We're in a time now that's very divisive. We're in a time now it's hot, it's volcanic, yeah? So going from entertainment to that was a huge, was that 360 or 180?
180.
I'm sorry, math wasn't my strong point. And it was great. It opened my eyes to a lot of initiatives, a lot of issues that LGBTQ plus are experiencing, women, marginalized groups of people, and making me aware of the work that needs to be done to be present in all that. Because we get caught up in, entertainment, pop culture news, but there's so much more going on in the world that we should be aware of and privy to, that once we finally dive into that and we're given the opportunity to really just be present in that, you'll be amazed on how much it enriches your life, and it's connecting with people beyond just day to day, like, hey Shannon, how you doing? But like hearing their stories and being able to what's the word I'm looking for?
Just connect.
And experience that working at the Young Turks that was the most beneficial and one of the most amazing experiences for me.
I love hearing you talk because you truly are bringing empathy into this entertainment zone.
Thank you.
Where a lot of people treat celebrities like just these objects that we're watching, and we really need more hosts like you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's very important.
I appreciate that, Shan. Thank you. I think there are people too. April 17th, Beyonce dropped Homecoming, right?
Yeah.
Huge cultural moment for people of color. And not just for people of color, but just for people in general, because even she says, I want this to be an experience for everyone. And I think that we sometimes look at celebrities as if they're these superhuman, unattainable objects, because we, as a culture, put them on these pedestals. But when you strip all that away, and really get to the core of who they are, they're just like me and you. They need love. Miley, Demi Lovato, Wendy Williams, a lot of celebrities who have opened up and been relatable. Hasn't that made them just that more relatable?
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
Yeah. That's so cool. And also, as we've mentioned, you were, for 13 seasons, you've been in the pit crew for RuPaul's Drag Race. So how did you get involved with that? And like, what happens in the pit crew?
Oh my gosh.
Give me the inside scoop, because
Where did you find that picture?
It was on my phone.
Can we blow it up?
What do you
It was on TV.
Yeah, there are cameras everywhere.
Was that the Rachel Maddow one, I think?
I think so. Yeah, it is. Allie has receipts. Jason was on TV. Wow. So Shannon, yes, the pit crew, RuPaul's Drag Race, cultural phenomenon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Emmy Award winning. Yes. I had. Long story short, 2010. I'm teaching dance class in Hollywood. A producer is on the elliptical watching this dance class, sends his friend in to be like, "Hey, can you audition for this show? We're not going to tell you what it is, but just sit in the picture." So in Los Angeles, you're thinking like, what kind of casting couch situation?
Right.
Like,
Right.
they're trying to like touch me or like, give me. And I was like, I'll send in my picture.
Right.
So, did that, auditioned, and then got a call, and the rest is history. And just have, just been a part of it.
Right.
I'm telling you, it came from just being at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, sometimes that's all it takes.
Yeah,
And you mentioned dancing.
Yeah.
You've been dancing since you were 7.
I have.
So what kind of dance are you into, and what do you love about it?
I do it all, jazz, tap, ballet. What I love about dancing is the freedom of expression. I think growing up in Albuquerque, New Mexico, I'm from Albuquerque, I was this, closeted gay kid, and so I didn't have a way of expressing the anxiety or anger I felt in that, because you didn't understand that, it was something that you didn't understand until you become much older and become of the world. And so I liken people with talent to mutants. What do mutants have? These powers that they turn on and turn off, right? So dancing was my mutant power. I felt so powerful. I felt so untouchable. I felt so accepted. I felt so normal in dance because it felt so good. So dancing led me to become a host as well, because the show I first started hosting was a dance show.
Yeah.
And so we would do these routines. It's like Kids Incorporated. Remember Mickey Mouse Club, Kids
yeah.
Incorporated?
Yeah.
It was something along those lines.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I do it all. And I even now that I'm older, I still love to dance. It just feels good, Brittany. It
Yeah,
feels good.
I dance in my apartment all the time. Do you take class anywhere in the city?
I do take class. I take class. Groove 3. If you get into Groove 3, Groove 3 is awesome. It's in LA. It's a fun fitness-inspired dance class.
I want to do that.
You don't have to be a good dancer. it's nonstop movement.
He
is a good dancer.
he's cute and he's a good dancer.
Yeah.
Right.
When
Me
you
and
pop a
Lucas
lot-
were just talking
There you
about
go.
taking a
There you
dance class
go.
this
We
morning.
were talking about they're doing voguing
Yeah.
class during Pride, and
Yeah.
I
I think we're gonna
don't
go.
really know how to Vogue. I know how to like Madonna Vogue. I don't really know how to really
Let me
Vogue.
see your Madonna Vogue.
like this. Do the choreography.
That's the Macarena, buddy.
Oh,
there you go. There you go. Hey.
Yeah, like this.
Hey.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jason, thank you so much for being
Guys,
here.
thank you for having me. Thank you.
Head to www.etonline.com/live to watch Entertainment Tonight's digital venture. And before you go, we've just been talking about dancing. Can you show us some dancing with a dance for a little bit?
Put me on the spot.
Okay, let's go.
Wait, is this? Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Yes, this one.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Yes.
My Beyonce. See, I can't duck. I cannot duck. No, I'm terrible.
yeah. Okay.
Bad
Can I do the
knees.
heels?
Yes, this one.
can't.
This one? I can do that.
No, wait, you do this one, right?
I can body roll it. Oh yeah.
Other side.
Hey.
I can only improv dance. I can only improvise. I can't follow. Once you're like, do this, I'm
Go,
like,
Brittany.
oh no.
Go, Brittany. Hey. Well, how much twerk?
Okay.
You're twerking in the wrong direction.
I don't have a butt to twerk with.
On that note, that is all from us. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same table. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks so much.